Okay, good morning students. The continuation is the productivity of an ecosystem. Here how the ecosystem is, it will produce a lot biomass production, and in other area how calories are produced. What do you mean by the productivity? Here the rate of biomass production per unit area in a unit time is called productivity. What is productivity? The biomass production per unit area in a unit time is called productivity. Can be expressed in terms of gram meter square per year or kilocalorie meter square per year. It is classified as given below: primary productivity, secondary productivity, community productivity. Here in a primary productivity, the chemical energy or organic matter generated by autotrophs during the process of photosynthesis and chemosynthesis is called primary productivity. It is a source of energy for all organisms, bacteria to human beings. The next cross primary productivity, GPP. The total amount of food energy or organic matter or biomass produced in an ecosystem by autotrophs through the process of photosynthesis, that is called gross primary productivity, GPP. Net primary productivity, NPP. The proportion of energy which remains after respiration. The proportion of energy which remains after respiration loss in the plant is called net primary productivity. It is also called it as apparent photosynthesis. Thus the difference between GPP and respiration is known as NPP. NPP is equal to net primary productivity is equal to gross primary productivity minus respiration. NPP of whole biosphere is estimated to be about 170 billion tons dry weight per year, out of which NPP of oceanic producers is only 55 billion tons per year in unit time. Secondary productivity, the amount of energy stored in the tissues of heterophytes or consumers is called secondary productivity. Gross secondary productivity, equivalent to the total amount of plant material is ingested by the herbivores minus the materials lost as feces. Net secondary productivity, storage of energy or biomass by consumers per unit area per unit time after respiratory loss is called net secondary productivity. Okay, community productivity, the rate of net synthesis of organic matter by a group of plants per unit area per unit time is known as community productivity. What are the factors affecting the primary productivity? Primary productivity depends upon the plant species of area, their photosynthetic capacity, availability of nutrients, solar radiation, precipitation, soil type, topographic factors, altitude, direction, and other environmental factors. That's all. Okay, concept of trophical level in an ecosystem. Trophic means there is a Greek word to food or feeding. The trophic level refers to the position of an organism in the food chain. The number of trophic levels is equal to the number of steps in the food chain. The green plants, that is called producers, occupying the first trophic level, T1 level, are called producers. The energy produced by the producers is utilized by the plant eaters, herbivores, that are called primary consumers and occupy the second trophic level. Here there is a diagram is that the fourth trophic level, below that one there is a first trophic level producer, second trophic level there is a primary consumers, herbivores, third trophic level secondary consumers, primary consumers, then fourth trophic level tertiary consumers, that is secondary consumers, eagle. Here there is omnivorous, crow. Diagrammatic representation of trophical levels. Energy flow, the transfer of energy is an ecosystem between trophic levels can be termed as energy flow. It is in the key function of an ecosystem. Part of the energy obtained from the sun by producers is transferred to consumers and decomposers through trophical level. Okay, here you can see the diagrammatic representation of energy flow, how the energy is passed on to one organism another organism. Okay, the next one, law of thermodynamics. There are two kinds of laws are there. Storage and loss of energy is an ecosystem is based on two basic laws of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics can be transmitted from one system to another in various forms. Energy cannot be destroyed or created, but it can be transferred from one form to another form. The quantity of energy present in the universe is constant. Then example, in a photosynthesis, the product of starch chemical energy is formed by the combination of reaction chlorophyll, H2O, then CO2. The energy stored in starch is acquired from the external sources, light energy, and so there is no gain or loss in total energy. Okay, next. Second law of thermodynamics, the energy transformation results in the reduction of the free energy of the system. Usually, the energy transformation cannot be 100% efficient. As energy is transferred from one organism to another organism in the form of food, a portion of which stored our energy in living tissue, whereas large part of energy is dispersed as heat through respiration only. Here the transfer of energy is irreversible natural process, example 10% law. Here what is 10% law? It was proposed by Lintman 1942 during transfer of food energy from one trophic level to another one. 10% stored at every level, at rest of time 90% is lost in respiration, decomposition and in the form of heat. Hence the law is called 10% law. Example, it is so that the 1000 joules of solar energy trapped by producers, 100 joules of energy is stored as chemical energy through photosynthesis. The remaining 900 joules would be lost in the environment. In the next trophic level, herbivores which feed on producers get only 10 joules of energy and the remaining 90 joules is lost in the environment. Likewise, the next trophic level, carnivores which eat herbivores store only 1 joule of energy and the remaining 9 joule is dissipated. Finally, the carnivores were eaten by tertiary consumers which store only 0.1 joule of energy and the remaining 0.9 joule is lost in the environment. At the successive trophic level, only 10% energy is stored. Here you can see the diagram. 10% law, produces 1000 joule is obtained from this sunlight, then 100 is present, then it 900 is lost by this. Then a second step, only 10 joules are obtained, the 90 joules are transferred. Here there is a 1 joule, 9 joules. Here there is a 0.1 joules, then 0.9 joules are lost. Here food chain. Next we pass on to food chain. The movement of energy from producers up to top carnivores is known as food chain. There is food chain. Energy flows from producers to primary consumers, from primary consumer to secondary, secondary to tertiary. Generally, there are two types of food chain: grazing food chain, then detritus food chain. Here in a grazing food chain, the grazing food chain is sun. The main sources of grazing food chain is sun. It begins with the first link, producers. The second link in the food chain is primary consumers, mouse, with get their food from producers. The third link is the food chain is secondary consumer, snake, which get their food from primary consumer. Fourth link is the food chain is tertiary consumer, eagle, which get their food from secondary consumers. See the diagram: producers, mouse, snake and eagle. There is a flow: prime, producers, primary, secondary and tertiary. There is a diagrammatic representation of grazing food chain. Then detritus food chain. In this type, food chain begins with the dead organic matter, which is an important source of energy. அது மக்கு குளம் உணவு சங்கிலின்னு சொல்லலாம். A large amount of organic matter is derived from the dead plants, animals and their excreta. This type of food chain is present in all ecosystem. Transfer of energy from dead organic matter to other organism called detritus consumers, small carnivores to large carnivores. It is called detritus food chain. Okay, see that one: a fallen leaves, then earthworm, then black bat, small carnivores are there, then hawk, top carnivores. Then next we pass on to food web. In this food web, here there is a number of reticulate venation is there. See that one: there is a producers, then mouse, the rat, rabbit also there, the lizard, then snake and hawk also there. There is a food web in a grassland ecosystem. Interlocking pattern of a number of food chain from a web-like arrangement is called food web is there. Here in an example, it is a grazing food chain of grassland. In the absence of rabbit, a mouse may also eat food grains. The mouse in turn may be eaten directly by a hawk or by a snake, and the snake may be directly eaten by hawks. Is the food web and the species of an ecosystem may remain balanced to each other by some sort of natural check. Okay, next we pass on to significance of food web. Important one. Food web is constructed to describe species interaction called direct interaction. Can be used to illustrate indirect interaction among different species. Study bottom up or top down control of community structure. It can be used to reveal different patterns of energy transfer in terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem. Ecological pyramids, geographical representation of the trophical structure and function at the successive trophical levels of an ecosystem is called ecological pyramids. The concept of ecological pyramids was introduced by Charles Eldon. It is also known as Eldonian pyramids. There are three types: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of energy. First one, pyramid of number. Here there is a number of organisms present at each successive trophic level is an ecosystem is called pyramid of numbers. There are three different shapes of pyramids: upright position, spindle, then inverted. A gradual decrease in the number of organisms in each trophic level from producers to primary consumers and then to secondary consumers and finally to tertiary consumers. Therefore, pyramids of number is grassland and pond system are always upright condition. In a forest ecosystem, number of pyramid of number is somewhat different in shape. It is because the base T1, the pyramid occupies large sized trees, producers, and herbivores T2, and occupying second trophic level, the more number of than the producers. The final trophic level T4, tertiary consumers lion and lesser in number than the secondary consumer T3. Therefore, the pyramid of number is forest ecosystem looks spindle shaped. Okay, the pyramid of number in a parasite ecosystem always inverted in position. There is a gradual increase in number of organisms in successive trophic levels from producer to tertiary consumers. See the diagram. First one is there is a pyramid of numbers, individuals. Then second one B. It indicates pond ecosystem. There is a normal upright position. The next one, a spindle shaped forest ecosystem. The last one, inverted position, parasite ecosystem. The pyramid of biomass, a graphical representation of the amount of organic material, that is biomass, present at each successive trophic level in an ecosystem is called pyramid of biomass. A grassland and forest ecosystem, there are gradual decrease in biomass of organism. A successive trophic levels from producers to top carnivores. Okay. In a pond ecosystem, the bottom of the pyramid is occupied by the producers, which comprises very small organism processing a least biomass, and so the value gradually increases towards the tip of the pyramid. Therefore, the pyramid of biomass is always inverted in shape. See that one? First one is a pyramid of biomass. That is different types of ecosystem is there. There is upright position, grassland ecosystem. Second one, forest ecosystem. Third one, inverted position, pond ecosystem. The pyramid of energy. Graphical representation of energy flow at each successive tropical level is an ecosystem is called pyramid of energy. The bottom of the pyramid of energy is occupied by the producers. Gradual decrease in energy transfer at successive trophic levels from producers to upper level. Therefore, the pyramid of energy is always upright in position. Okay, this one is upright position. A 10% large is also example for this one, biomass pyramid of energy. Then decomposition. Decomposition is a process in which the detritus plants, animals and their excreta are broken down into simple organic matter by the decomposers. It is an essential process of recycling and balancing the nutrient pool in an ecosystem. Okay, nature of decomposition. Here there is organic based on the nature of organic decomposition. Some of the components like carbohydrates, fat, protein and decompose rapidly than the cellulose, lignin, chitin, hair and bone. Mechanism of decomposition. Here there is an enzymatic reaction, it will occur. Detritus act as a raw materials for decomposition, occurs in the following step. Fragmentation, that is fragmentation, it will occur the breakdown of detritus into small particles by detritivores like bacteria, fungus and earthworm is known as fragmentation. Then catabolism, the decomposers produce some extracellular enzyme in the surroundings to break down the complex organic material, inorganic compounds, into small simple ones. This is called catabolism. The leaching and elevitation, the movement of decomposed water soluble organic and inorganic components from the surface of the lower soil, carrying away the same by water is called leaching or elevation. Humification. It is a process by which simplified detritus is changed into dark colored amorphous substance called humus. It is highly resistant to microbial action. The decomposition is very slow. It is a reservoir of nutrients. Mineralization. Some microbes are involved in a release of inorganic nutrients from the humus of the soil. Such process is called mineralization. Factors affecting decomposition. Decomposition affected by the climatic factors like temperature, soil moisture, soil pH, oxygen, and also chemical quality of nutrient deteriorates. Then biological cycles. Here there is a biological cycles. Some organisms are mostly involved in this biological cycle. All organisms require nutrients for their growth, development, and reproduction. In a biogeochemical cycles, called it a cycling of minerals. There are two basic types. Gaseous cycles includes atmospheric oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen. Sedimentary cycle, it includes cycles of phosphorus, sulfur, and calcium. Sediments of earth. Carbon cycle, known as circulation of carbon between organism and environment, is known as the carbon cycle. Okay, here there is a cycling of carbon between organism and atmosphere. It's a sequence of two reciprocal processes of photosynthesis and respiration. That's all. See in a diagram there is a structure is there in your book. Phosphorus cycle, sedimentary cycle. Already we know phosphorus is found in DNA, RNA, ATP, NADP, and phospholipid molecules of living organism. Phosphorus is not abundant in a biosphere, whereas bulk quantity is phosphorus is present in rock deposits, marine sediments, and ground. It mostly reaches from by weathering up process only. The producers absorb phosphorus in the form of phosphate ions transferred to each trophical level food chain through food. Okay, lithosphere, hydrosphere to maintain the phosphorus cycle. The next we pass on to types of ecosystem. Biosphere consists of different types of ecosystem, natural one, artificial one. In a natural one, terrestrial ecosystem is there, aquatic ecosystem is there. In an aquatic ecosystem, freshwater ecosystem, marine water ecosystem. In a freshwater, low tick, there is running water. Lentic, there is a standing water. There is pond and lake. Here there is river and spring. Okay, that's all. Okay, next class we will see. There is another topic. Okay, thank you students.